Certainly in the initial stages of a film, I think the first things that come to my mind are, what is the film going to look like, and how do I achieve that? And I think one of the easiest ways of doing that is to sit down and write out a list of tests that you'd want to achieve. Choices of lenses, choices of filters, particular lighting concepts that you might want to explore, and then bringing all of that together with the laboratory. Because ultimately, all the ideas in the world that you might want to achieve without the laboratory being on board, disaster. So, yeah, I mean, the idea is try to get that idea that's stuck in your head at the beginning of a film when you're reading the script and it all is like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want to do. So how do you achieve that on film? And I think the best way is not to just fail forward, so to speak, but to sit down and use some pre-production time to test and to iron out some ideas and stuff so that not only can you see that it's working, but the whole support group behind you, director, studio, and so forth, can see, wow, I can get excited about this. Despite the fact that the studio has greenlit the project and everybody's super excited about it, there's a tremendous amount of tentativeness and tension and uncertainty. And I think despite the idea of a test being primarily for the cinematographer, it's a chance for him to fail without, or her to fail without it costing the production too much time and money. The reality is that you can immediately get the whole machinery behind you on board and confident if you can find a look right away that everybody gets excited about. Making that lead actor or actress look good, creating a look through laboratory and stuff, which immediately people begin to sort of can visually, tactily see, oh my goodness, this is going to be awesome. 100 days of this is just going to be the best. In terms of the testing process, I, of course, have my own set of issues that I want to iron out and work out. But, of course, every other department has theirs as well. Very often when you're doing your testing for lighting, for lenses, for filtration, and so forth, makeup is doing similar tests behind the scenes. So is wardrobe. Even our department, wants to see what a particular fabric will look like or paint will look like and so forth. So it's a chance for all of us to try things. And, I must say the collaboration that you have with other departments is paramount to the look of the picture. If in your mind you see a very monochromatic look, but the art department or the wardrobe department sees a very sort of bright and colorful, more vivid idea, well, you're at cross purposes. And then you've got to figure out, what is the story asking? There's so many different choices for a look. What makes most sense, to support the story? And then everybody's got to get on board, because there's no sense in starting day one if every department isn't kind of on the same page. I like to use Kineflows, especially when I work with David, and I know he likes the use of Kineflows. They're very, very quick. They're easy to adjust, and part of lighting is making adjustments and so forth. But the nice thing about Kineflows is that the light falls on where you want it to fall on, and then it kind of dissipates very, very quickly, whereas traditional tungsten movie lamps and stuff have a tremendous projection or whatever, so you're constantly trying to cut the light off of where you don't want it to be and just keep it where you do want it to be. And with Kineflows, you could put the light just off the frame, it could hit the actors, and then it didn't contaminate a wall or beat something up. So for the no-light look, it was primarily achieved with Kineflows with a little bit of blue color on it to keep it that sort of, I guess, that sort of a moonlight room tone on the cooler side. And basically we just stapled these things right to the ceiling when we could, just as a little soft top, and then Kineflows just off the frame lines, whatever, to light the actors, keeping them all off the walls, and it just worked perfectly. Obviously, you don't want to put people in complete shadow the entire time, but certainly with all of the windows, we had the chance to, create moonlight. Certainly would have been justified. That moonlight could have, hit their faces, and they could have been lit in any places that we wanted them to be lit. And then by taking the moonlight away, we could have left the darkness on the walls and created this very, very spooky and eerie kind of place. But David wanted the audience to be able to see everything. He wanted to be able, as how it is when your eyes get adjusted to the darkness, is that you can see beyond that dark shadow and you can see into those shadows. So for that reason, we went against the moonlight feel. We went against this sort of super high contrast where you have areas that are fully at key, and then you can go completely into pitch black and the entire grayscale in between. And we went with something that was started dark and ended up dark, but not completely dark.
Hey, I'm rolling.
Okay, bring it up slowly. That's good, that's good. More, a little more. Feathers, now. Slower, you gotta step back.
One of the nice things about David Fincher is that he is very adamant about testing everything and taping everything so that we have a record and we know exactly what's going to happen once we get on the set.
And puffy, and go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's it.
The propane tank was, to tell you the truth, a real pain in the ass, only because it was very difficult to find spitting fire coming out of a broken hose. And to give it this wacky, it was almost like Tex Avery. It was very cartoony in the sense that he wanted very erratic. He wanted it to be like a water hose that has been cut and the water is going everywhere, that kind of a thing, except with fire. Now, one can do it with fire, but it was very difficult to maintain. And there was a lot of CG, and believe me, I went through a lot of testing and many different ways of doing it. The spinning of the bottle was a piece of cake in a sense. We tested everything out well in advance. We shot it on tape, and John Dorsey, the associate producer, cut all this stuff together so that it gave David a real good idea as to how to progress with the entire scene.
So if we could put the gas for a heavier version of helium, is there
yeah. It's not going to go bang. It won't go big bang. Ready? Ready? One, two, three.
What's going to be the cue there,
When you see it, get back here.
when the fire gets to the tank.
Watch me. Here's your cue. On three. One, two, three. And on three. One, two, three. Arnold, one, two, three. And action.
And that's how we do it.
3, 2, 1. Hit it, Roy.
Ah, man, that was good. Roy.
I want to feel it this time, Joe.
Pasha.
Here we go. We're there.
Roy.
RD. Not too sure.
3, 2, 1.
We are hot and ready. John, are you ready?
I'm rolling.
And 3, 2, 1. sliding away. I'd like to be safe.
Well, my concern was, and that's why I said it, because I think you have to consider the bed frame and everything, and all the rest of the mechanics.
You can just destroy all that work
Right,
invested
that's
in that. That could be all day tomorrow rebuilding it, so we're saying.
That's
But-
my suggestion. It's up to you guys.
Okay, let's smash. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, baby!
Nice. Rolling.
One of the other scenes that we did was of Forrest drilling into the wall with the pillows and the feathers, and oh my God, I don't know how many times we did that, but we had feathers everywhere, and it was real key that we had to do it on cue so that he puts the pillow up, he takes the drill, pushes it in, and then feathers start flying everywhere. In reality, it wouldn't necessarily do that. That pillow would be spinning on the end of it. So we scored it on the pillow so that he can actually drive into it, but the feathers were gagged behind it in the vent itself so that they would be flying outward. And we had feathers everywhere. We thought this was a movie about feathers.
Takes a few seconds.
Hold it down a little bit.
Here it goes. There it goes, Joe.
There it is. There it is.
The ash is going down.
It's lighter than air. Ash float.
Might be too much.
Where are you going?
Well, I just want to
Go outside with it because
Just trying to show
fill
you.
the fucking stage.
I'm gonna fill the fucking stage if I don't get out of here.
Man, this was a great feathers gag.
Oh, did you hear that? All right, go. Go outside.
Jared actually was on fire. And we did a lot of testing, of course, with him, making sure that he was happy with it. We had Refrisil or Nomex clothing underneath his jacket. All of his shirts were fireproofed. And it was a very safe situation, and nobody was hurt during the course of this film.
When you're doing a burn, you hardly really know you're on fire. It's, you know, unless it's like just everywhere.
All over you, yeah.
Yeah. So you want
Do it
to
again?
You want to try one without the hood, or?
Yeah, you want to go without the hood?
Yeah. So what is that?
It's just an alcohol flame. Flail it real fast. There you go. There you go. Like you're trying to put it out.
Oh, what happened?
That's it. You know, come up over your shoulder.
Oh, good. I mean, I should. I want to.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what gets hot move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there any chance you don't feel comfortable,
Just
go,
say-
you say,
just
tell
lay it-
somebody. Just put you out.
lay down and we'll know. Yeah.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, I mean,
just
it's
say
actually.
now.
Yeah,
now.
No, just say put it out. Put it
Put it
out.
out.
That's why he's got the CO2. So you know,
We,
if you feel
yeah,
uncomfortable.
you may,
you
may
feel
come
like-
up with a safe word and do your gel. You know,
Yeah.
okay? I just don't want to
And the
gel you
gel
down.
does.
Well, the gel does sort of what this does for you. It's a heat barrier,
Okay.
you know, and it's just,
But it does that catch fire?
no, it's that water gel, okay?
Okay.
You know, if you want to do it again, we can.
Yeah,
It's
let's
up to
do
you.
one more.
All right. You have the room. See, because I mean, it's barely coming over your shoulder.
But I won't touch it at first because I want to let it burn or something. And then,
No, I think you don't even know you're on fire at first.
yeah, first it's. Fuck!
Okay. You want it out?
No.
All right. You should probably put it out. Let's have it.
Speed and action.
We were doing a lot of tests where we had a fire come from the base because it's being ignited from the base, I thought. But we did stuff, like I say, on the ceiling and on the coming through this hole in the wall. And the dummy on fire, we called him Alfredo because he was a mess afterwards. It was a dummy that we'd always use, and he he got pretty toasted.
Yeah, got it right here.
And ready on camera?
Yes. Roll. Okay. Speed?
Hold camera.
Speed. Okay, go ahead.
2, 3, 4.
You know what?
Ready?
That's such a wait and see thing.
Say something.
We went through a lot of liquid, and it's a liquidy kind of a thing, so that's why you don't see any. It's not a gas, it's not a black powder or naphthalene or anything along those lines, so it's a liquid, and you have to atomize it and you have to control it to a certain degree, and it's also pretty dark, so you can't light it like a regular fire that you see. It's something that's extremely dark, so we had to open it up. Man, it was hot. It was great. We had fun. Had a lot of fun.
All right.
Here's an anecdote I got for you. I thought, well, hey, here's a piece of cake. She takes the sledgehammer and she hits the mirror in the bathroom and it shatters the glass. We thought about, you know, breakaway glass. We thought about real glass. And the best way to go was the real glass, of course. But the first take, she picks up the sledgehammer and she gives it a whack that everybody could hear on the set, and it shakes up some people because they don't realize it's coming, and the glass doesn't break. Holy shit, what's the deal here? So we'll try it again. No big deal, no big deal. This is so strong, heavy sledgehammer, real. She hits the glass again, and I couldn't believe it. This glass is standing still. It's not moving. I mean, it's not breaking, definitely not breaking. So I thought about, well, maybe we should put some hits on it, bullet hits or something. And then, of course, the simplest thing you come up with. It's backed by plywood, and I thought, well, what can we put between the mirror and the plywood? And all we needed was like 4 or 5 drywall screws that just came out so far that it's touching that mirror, and when she hit it, this whole thing exploded because it's hitting a simple thing like a drywall screw, and it's just exploding and it's going everywhere, and she was great about it. I mean, the glass was flying and everything, and she didn't get cut or anything, and it was terrific. But it was a simple little thing as a drywall screw to break it. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe we blow it up with the Primacord. Who knows? I'm thinking about all these things. So once again, it's the simplest things that always work on set. But it's there, it's right in front of you, but you've got to come up with it.
Action.
It's called a panic room.
What?
A safe room. A castle keep in medieval time.
I was first approached by David Fincher, who wanted me to comment on the accuracy of the technical components of the script, how a safe room door works. Are there such things as entry-resistant doors? How might they be defeated? And I reviewed the script for him, and then we had a few meetings regarding that topic. I think the viewing audience will probably be surprised to learn that safe rooms, panic rooms, and entry-resistant doors are real. Many, many public figures have them, if not most. Public figures have some type of area they can go to in their homes that make the likelihood of encountering an intruder just about zero.
We're general contractors is our main business, and building custom homes. And about 20 years ago, we did a house with Gavin DeBecker, who was the security consultant, and it was his idea to have us build one. I'd say about the past 3 years, they've really taken off.
Throughout my career, people have told me about, I'll meet somebody at a party and they'll tell me what a great security system they have. And I'll say, well, what do you do when it goes off? And they say, well, only a nut would hang around with that thing ringing. And I say, okay, so what do you do when it goes off and only a nut is in your house? The ability to have a response mechanism, a place you can go during an emergency, something that physically divides you from intruders, is an absolute central feature of any effective security program.
Well, this is our preferred material here. This is a material called Armortex, which is a bullet-resistant panel. This thickness here, this is level 3. It'll stop a .357 Magnum 9mm. And we like it because it's relatively lightweight. It's UL approved and works well in our doors. As far as the room itself, preferably you'd like to use a big concrete block or poured concrete. That doesn't lend itself too well to upstairs, to second floor installations. So if that's not available, we like to line the walls again with the Armortex. For entry resistance, we like to use this material, which is a secure mesh, which can only be cut with a carborundum blade or cutting torch. And that means people have to come really prepared if they want to get into this. And then also we have to line it with steel and plywood when available. So a combination of all these really makes it a very secure room.
Entry-resistant doors and safe and secure areas within residences go back thousands of years. I mean, the castles and palaces had places that people could go in an emergency. Even pyramids had entry-resistant components to them. And what's going on now in the age of modern technology is that safe rooms can be built that are entry-resistant and that are self-contained. They are not rooms where someone expects to spend hours and hours. They are rooms where someone expects to spend the time that it takes for law enforcement to respond.
All right, well, here we have a typical safe room door installation. And let me step out here, but close the door. It's a steel door. Magnetic lock. As soon as all you have to do is just close the door, and it's completely locked. There's nothing to grab or hold on to, no handles, no way to get a crowbar in. The door is a good 2 inches larger than the opening all the way around.
Then there are many different ways to lock entry-resistant doors. Magnetic locks are the ones that I like best because they are non-mechanical and they can't be damaged by an attack on the door. What you don't want to build is a technology trap.
Recessed into a steel channel are the electromagnetic locks. And again, we'll just close the door, you can see how it fits in. And again, if someone does cut the power, there is a 24-hour backup system that'll keep it running.
And it isn't doors that fail. People often have solid core, heavy doors and think that that provides some measure of security. It is locks that fail, not doors. Locks and strikes, the portion of the door frame that a lock goes into. In a proper entry-resistant door, all of that is taken out of the equation because the door itself is larger than the opening. It cannot possibly pass through the opening. It slides inside a pocket that will not move. And when we design safe rooms for clients, they are designed as independent, freestanding areas inside a house. They are not reliant upon the structural integrity of the rest of the house.
Mostly we go in after the house is built, even if it's a new home, because the less people that know that it's there, the better. So we disguise it to look like a regular closet. And during construction, plumbers, painters, electricians, there's several hundred people that are involved in building a house, and the fewer people that know, the better.
What the hell are you doing? We're coming in from below. No, you're not. Even if you got through the concrete, there's 3 inches of steel. You won't even make a dent.
We'll see.
There isn't a way into an entry-resistant room. A properly designed entry-resistant door does not, having knowledge about how it functions, will not provide access to the room. The only person who drives access to the room is the person inside the room.
Just give enough time and enough tools, a bulldozer, will pretty much take care of it. But in any practical situation, they're basically entry-proof.
I am often asked to do consulting on movies and television shows, and I just about always say no. I said yes in this case because the script was true to the rules that it set. It set rules that said this entry-resistant door cannot be broken into, and it kept those rules, something Hollywood just about never does. People who see the film will recognize that it is true to technical accuracy and to the nature of how safe room doors work.
David called us saying, hey guys, I got a job for you. And we were saying, great, because we missed out on Fight Club. Really wanted to do that job. But so what do you got? And he says, fingers. Okay, what are the fingers? Tell us about the fingers.
It's a big, long story of wonderful things that were designed and created and shot and succeeded, but ultimately didn't end up in the movie for various reasons.
Go ahead. You were around and threw you in here, so to get your shit together and then start coming back up there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe, or to get the gun.
Yeah.
Keep it coming, Frank. And
Shit, goddamn it. Fuck. You're wild. Just take it. Shit.
ready and action. I'm just waiting all day. Sorry.
This is an appliance that was done for Dwight's hand. All right, so this is the thing where he gets his fingers pinned in the door, and this was built to go over his knuckles like this. So his real fingers are safe here, and then the door is grooved, so he puts his hand right in a very specific spot, and the door slams on this, and this is all rigged inside for blood tubes. And the door can slam on it, and then as the door opens, there are mashed fingers that fall off, and blood shoots out of this. And of course, after all of this work was done, including the sculpture of little tiny fingerprints here, then David showed us the thick rubber gloves that Dwight wears in the scene. But the plus was, it's great because the glove will balloon up full of blood and make it even more horrific. So, so we did the shot, we did the whole effect, and we did some tests that were very interesting without the glove. And it's very gruesome. There's something, I don't know, I think there's something about seeing hands chopped up because you're using your hands all the time, and it's such a familiar thing that when you see this kind of destruction, it really does affect you in a very visceral way.
What the fuck went on with his door?
When we made these fingers, one of the things he said was he wanted to have a cut of them dropping on the floor, and Dwight would snatch them up and put them in his pocket. So we made these rubber fingers, which is sort of like what we would normally do. Our plan was to soak them in blood and in water to give them a little bit of a, extra weight, a little bit of a, gelatinous kind of quality to them. And when we Good job, Vada. Come here, Vada. Just come in. Come on in here, Nevada.
Come in, sir.
Just sing for the camera, because no, come on. Now he's mad.
This won't be on the Panic Room DVD.
No, anyway, so when it came down to doing the shot and dropping on the ground, Fincher's comment, he said, "Looks like rubber Cheetos. They look like rubber Cheetos, man." And that's the extent of the conversation. You go, rubber what do you mean by rubber Cheetos? Well, they just look like rubber Cheetos. Take them away and make them less Cheeto-like. And then, of course, he sees the frustration in your face, and then he loves that, so he just keeps, next time you talk to him, did you solve the Cheeto problem? And you're like, we're working on the Cheeto problem. So this is the rubber Cheeto.
We got it. Hey, Alec. Cheetos.
We went back to the drawing board and we cast these fingers out of silicone this time, and we determined by dropping silicone fingers and foam fingers which ones bounce the highest, because one thing we knew is, okay, he says rubber, it must mean that they're bouncing too high. So we did drop tests where we dropped the fingers to see how high they would bounce, and we ended up coming up with a thin skin of silicone with an interior core of a resin mixed with lead shot to give it extra weight. So these things, each finger was like the weight of 3 fingers, and when they hit, they would sort of just go thunk and barely bounce. So I think we solved the Cheeto problem, although maybe we didn't, because I don't know that you even see that in the film. I don't know. These are foam rubber.
Where are the beautiful handcrafted silicone fingers you may be asking in a offhand? David Fincher has them.
We presented the beautiful non-rubber Cheeto fingers to him in a little case that was velvet lined, and we said, "For your approval," you know, and finally he got off our backs on that one. But see, I mean, does that look like a rubber Cheeto? Maybe it does. Maybe he was right.
We also created the broken collarbone for Steven's character, and the only time that you see it is when he's tied up in the chair, and it's only a couple of quick cuts. And of course, we, as the guys creating it, we're the only ones in the audience not watching his face, but watching the broken collarbone over here, and it was a pretty cool effect.
Try again.
It's subtle, but it's effective because, again, Fincher in his depth of detailing, he told us about the story of seeing a broken collarbone and how it actually moves when the person moved their arm, the broken collarbone moved under the skin, and how it was just such an abhorrent thing to see, but it was totally real life. So he had us recreate that. So to that end, we created a prosthetic makeup piece like we would normally, but we articulated it inside with a little cable mechanism. So whenever the actor would move his arm, we would also move the control to make it function in the same way. And again, you've got to actually be looking for it, which is the beauty of DVD, I guess, to be able to see it over and over again.
Please go look for the broken collarbone. Actually, it was Sion who had broken her collarbone. Some, you know, I don't know what it was, making tea. He said he heard her scream.
I didn't know if we were supposed to say
kitchen.
that part because I also heard it wasn't. She didn't just have a broken collarbone. I mean, David was there, and you figured it out.
I don't know what's going on in that relationship.
See, if we had more to talk, if there was more in the film, we would have more to talk
Let's
about.
see.
We're winding. We know we're winding up right now, and
Wait
we're
a
not
minute.
ready.
Wait a minute. We did a broken leg also. Dwight Yoakam, when he falls down, gets hit by the sledgehammer.
3, 2, 1.
Nothing happened, you know, that we worked on getting hit by the sledgehammer. Although we did some artwork for David. We did a digital shot of him with his cowboy hat dented in, but he didn't go for that. But what he did go for was the broken leg when he hits the ground.
And like a lot of this stuff, you have to be watching for it, you know, for that moment or two that it's in there, but in a very small way.
Ready, and act.
Tom was able to sell that real well in the video, in our video test.
I think we have a clip of that too. Let's watch.
And then we built a, I guess, spandex unitard that had bones, you know, misplaced and jutting, and an oversized shoe. David wanted him to have an oversized shoe that we could kind of twist around. So we got some, we put all that together, and
Any final words?
I think that does it. Out of this 10 minutes, I think you get about 2 minutes of usable video.
I get enough. That's good.
In the second part where we pick it up, do those doors match? Because I don't know if they do. That works good. This needs to be repoed up, and it can just be sitting there. We don't have to put the track on it just to get that. Kid, no ball. I want to repo this so it's a little bit, so it's a little fuller too. And then this, the end of this, where she walks into that, she has to go a little bit slower into the close-up. And I want to reframe that shot, so instead of doing it with a 75 where I don't get any sense of the reflection, I want to do it with a 27 so I get more of the back. And I'm going to restage this so I don't have to make this big swooping Technocrane thing through here, and it stops right about on that doorknob, so we hold the ceiling and they walk away from us, and then I want to pick them up in a Technocrane shot that brings them around down the stairs, and they're going to go under camera.
Okay.
This all works fine. We're able to preview it so we know where all the mirrors are, so we know if we're seeing off the set. Now I want to start, these two shots, I want to merge them. So I start over her shoulder and I come all the way around and zoom into the 275 millimeters. Then he pushes the button, then I need a close-up. This is my room. And then as she starts to go, as the adults wipe in front of her, we cut to this and we start pushing. I need to restage that so that we see Lydia and Meg, they walk past camera and turn so that I can get to, I hate this. You gotta find a better shot for that. This shot needs to start tilted up and tilt down into this and make these balusters the same size because they're different from shot to shot. She has to come up, she has to pick up the phone at the end and just
You wanted her tighter.
After she's already sitting up, she picks up the phone?
Yeah, because remember she says the battery's dead. So I need to see that where she picks up the phone and says the battery's dead. Then I gotta go to this wide shot. I just need like 3 more seconds on the tail of it. This all works. Now, this needs to be the reverse. Instead of her coming this way and going down the hall, she needs to come at us and go into the living room because in the wide shot, she's already done that.
Oh, yeah.
So she's up here. So when we cut into this, she needs to be turning around and coming back past us. Good mommy hooked up the phone. Then we go to this. The acting will get. I hate this. I want to be on the other side. I want to come from the breakfast nook over. I'm getting everything. It's all feeling like it's from the same angle. So I want to be more on this side. Take some of the weight off the key. So this works good. I've now taken this and moved the scene. So we come into this. We have to land. By the time she sets that thing down, the camera has to stop moving because I can't go back to it and have it still repoing. She pulls the stuff out of the box.
She's a wino, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a fucking outfit. So now, start me further panned over right, and I don't have to pan that far. I can go right to the edge of that. You know, now this, we get up too high. I don't want to get into my nudity clause thing. I don't want cutting her like mid-nipple, but give me some slack so I don't have to go.
So you don't want to boom up at all then?
I don't mind booming up. I don't mind booming up just
not that
so I'm right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just put a lot of egg white in the back there.
We can do that. Yeah. And I still think we can make this shot in the panic room better. It just needs to be more of a tableau looking through the door. It just looks a little, it's kind of so off balance that it doesn't feel like, I mean, maybe it's even panned over so she's on the left and then we come back all the way around. She's been on the left the whole time. This is good, except he's one step too far up in order to make that work. So keep the relationship of the moves and her relationship to the monitor the same, but slide them back. And now, this shot that we're going to see on the monitor should be them standing still. And the ball still rolling. Slow this down. Make it take twice as long. The speed going past the door frame is right, but at the end it should just be almost moving like nothing. And I need that little profile piece, and I need this reverse that brings him back around the steps. And then I need the piece where he slides in here, and I need some kind of like probably a shot of the door or the glass with nothing happening so I can have that moment.
Then on the top floor tour, we're gonna
breaking that up.
less swoopy coming around, and it stops, and then taking the crane down low so they walk under camera.
Okay.
Colin has done that.
Great.
And then bedroom tour.
Okay. And we also have that other little thing that we're going to end on when we go from him up there where we look down onto the...
Oh yes, right.
Right.
The omniscient camera. Ron's got that.
Okay. Now I need to come up with this section there where she falls back in slow motion and then we see her crawl into bed. I mean, I could play that in the down shot, which would be really good, but I'm just wondering if we go, use the anamorphic frame, see the whole bed and have her fall back in slow motion and then dissolve out of that into, because that would be a place to dissolve into the darkness and we see her. But I don't know, to tell the story that she tries to sleep in the middle of the bed. I'd love to have that. I love that idea. She's trying to and then she ends up in the place on the side of the bed where she always used to. Then I want to add a shot in here where you see just so it's like we see over her shoulder the ball rolling, then we see tight on the monitor the ball, just like this crunchy thing, and then I want to go from a shot of her ear, like this tight, where she goes, turns to go. She makes the connection that that's what's happening around.
So she's looking from the monitor.
She's looking right at the monitor, and she looks at the door, and it literally starts on her ear, and it goes eyes as she, and then she's going to rise up out of that shot into the shot coming around them.
Is that a close-up of him chewing?
It's kind of a raking 3. So we're raking from behind. Junior's on the far right. So now we're kind of from the front door, looking back, front parlor, looking back. So Junior's in the foreground. So it's Junior, Burnham, Raoul. So Burnham's in the mid. So we're in the foreground, focus in the foreground, and he's chewing. And then we rack focus to the background as Burnham looks at him like, "Can you please stop that? I can't hear a fucking thing that's happening." This works great. Check this out. Talk about crossing the line in a cool way. Watch this. Everybody watches guns. Yeah, the other thing that I want to do is I want to do a new shot in there where we see the blankets being pulled and then the lasers revealed flaring into the lens. So it's like and maybe even in slow motion. So it's like she pulls on the thing and it goes, hits us, and then we go. And I think once we get the right size on him hitting the door, it's not quite such an insert thing. This is great. This is great. This all works great. Check this out. This is so cool because you're convinced that the reason that you're getting inside, right, said Fred, as you come around, right? But you're zooming, so you're actually outside. But watch what happens. So you come around this way, and you think, oh, we're inside, we're right next to her, and then all of a sudden, now it's like a forest of fucking trees, and everybody's like right on top of her. Very cool. That's great. That's great. I need
We
to
didn't
get
fix this
data.
yet. The man said.
Yeah, we gotta figure something out here. I need to get a data sheet on what it's going to take to get that shot, because I think that's going to be a problem.
Okay.
So we should do that, and let's get that shot redesigned. And make this a longer shot for me. Let's make this push in, start much wider, and go all the way across into tight, so they can be reacting to the sound that's happening. He's smashing stuff in their hair, and they're like really cowering there and worried about what a fucking psycho he is. Now, Burnham needs to take off right after this, and it's just too much. This is all too much. Let's go. Let's be up on the steps and like have him come up toward us.
Okay.
It's just too much movement for no reason at all. And then we go to this. I still think we're up a little too high. I think we should try being like 3 feet off the ground, and let's bring that wall at us. You know,
blade.
And give me a fucking tails on these. There's like no tails rendered on. It's like dink. But then we're done with 95 scenes.
How dark is it going to be in there? Just night lights and available light coming in the windows?
He's shooting infrared.
What available light?
That'd be
it's going to be dark.
Totally pitch black.
Oh, scary, huh?
Just see a night light go.
Tough for a little girl. I've got the mother. Give me. You stay here. Nobody gets past.
When you drill it, you just push down on the thing, and that's what gives you leverage, and put the hole right straight down. Because where you're actually going to put the hole, actually what I would do, let me just run this by you real quick. What I would do, all I'm going to have is a shaft coming out. That's all I see. Then what I'm going to do is, I have to determine which way the lock is. And this type of safe, the lock is either going to be here or here. So what I would do is I would take and my drill point would actually be right here. I'd put a hole right here. Okay? Now it's either going to be here or here. But if it's here and I dial it and it's wrong, then I know it's only 50 numbers off.
Right.
But actually when I drill, I won't even see the hole. And since this is just a light plate and I've got the drill, I wouldn't even hesitate putting 2 holes if I had to, because that's what I would do.
Right.
And the reason being is that, I showed Bucky the other day, the safe. There's 3 wheels with pie shapes in it.
Yeah.
When I drill my hole, on the back of the, in fact I got the lock out in the truck, I should have brought it in to show you. But there's a hole in the case of the lock itself, and I can actually see the driver falling down, because I can actually see it with my scope. I got a little light to look at. And when I look at it, and I see that thing drop right there, I can actually dial the wheels without a dial on it whatsoever, just the spindle itself. And I actually watched the thing drop right in, turn it, I'll just spin it down, the safe's open. It's that quick. Then for me to repair it, I plug the hole, put a new dial ring, put a new dial, and I'm out of there. Total job's less than maybe an hour and a half at the very most.
Now, so you're just replacing this whole cord.
Exactly. Plug in the hole. I've got taper pins, so when I put it in there and I hit it with a hammer, it smashes the metal, and you won't drill back into it because it's hardened. Then I grind it off, put the plate back on, and I'm out. Like I said, an hour and a half.
That's when you repair it. Yeah. Right. When someone
get
locks
into
it and they can't get in, you come and do that. So
exactly. Or they lost the combination, whatever the situation might be.
Okay, so
the thing is, you cannot just take and beat it, because if you beat it and that cap comes off, there's relockers that locks the safe up right there. That's why you have to do it this way. And this is not where you have the problem drilling. Where you have the problem drilling is after you go past this, there's hard plate. And you just don't walk through it. It's the hardest thing to drill through, if you understand what I'm saying. That's why you have the mag drill with the carbide bit. And this has a handle on the side. When you put the handles on, it's like a drill press. And you know, it's just like walking through butter.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to do this by hand, you'll kill yourself.
Right.
With that mag drill, you just sit there and you use your pinky. You can have your daughter do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so nice and easy and simple.
So it's got the handle on it, like we
But
have.
the other one, like I have, it's like a handle and it has a chain. And it's
chain, yeah.
Kind
of more crude.
I gotta see it.
Okay, okay.
All it is a pipe. It's a square shaft like this with a handle on it, and it's got a hook right there. And you put the chain in here. The chain goes through here, and all you have is a bolt because you adjust the chain so that how much pressure you need or what size drill. The drill actually fits on the end of this. It's just a drill gun with a rig, and as I've got that chain between this and this point here, this is leverage. I've got all the pressure I need. Now I'd walk through there just like with butter again. That's my preference is the mag drill, but 99% of the time that's used on the chest safe. I wasn't aware that we were going to do it.
You're going vertically.
Exactly, because when you hit that mag, that safe will stand on its side like this.
Right.
And you don't even have to. It won't even budge. You can't knock it off.
Well, we'd like to use this with this, so what...
The only way you're going to do it is you'd have to make this door a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Is the one that you're going to do bigger, or is this the actual
This
front?
is the one. This is it.
Okay, so here, let's
Well,
try
let me
this
ask you,
on.
no, stop. What if this was steel around the side?
Yes.
Then you could go clamp.
You sure can. You sure can.
So that would be the easiest.
That would be the easiest way. Put it steel here, and when that thing bolts and clamps to this, it's all. You can make it look like this is a fortress. That this
Is
thing's
this
gonna
little
bolt.
space here that it could be off this far?
We got it. We just heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And you've got what you need. In fact, you could drill your hole here too. You can drill your hole could be drilled because, like I said, that combination lock technically could be any which way.
Right.
And so you can put your hole here. You can put your hole here, here, or here. There's actually 4 positions. All depends upon the manufacturer's safety. That's why I showed you that I had the charts.
Yeah.
Technically, you look at the chart to see which type it is. It tells you exactly where the hole is. Just got to remember when you look at the chart, it's backwards. That's what they don't tell you because that's the fool people that don't. You know, they'll lay it on there and they'll put a hole and they think they found it. They don't realize it's backwards because you're looking from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Okay. If you were going to use this with the drill press and you were running in here, half an hour is what it would really take
To
you
open it,
Yeah.
I'd be in and out in a half hour or less.
I mean,
in fact, I'll be honest with you. If I was trying to get out of here, you know, pulling the dial is really the nicest way, the sweetest way. But I've actually taken 2 screwdrivers and just prized it to get it out of there. I mean, you know, for speed.
Right.
But
so to pull the dial, so explain the pulling of the dial.
Or there's another way you can do it too. If you use the other device, like I was telling you, which is kind of nice, because I never used to have to pull the dial at all. Because what I used to do is, if I would have hooked it up, I could put the drill on an angle.
And it would pop it off as you
and I would miss the dial altogether. In other words, I'd be drilling through here, and then go on an angle.
Okay, but say if we want to take the dial off, how would we do
What's
it?
the fastest way?
What I do is this is a real dial, I assume. If you drill a little tiny hole here, and then you put a tap in there, when you run the tap down, it'll actually pull the dial right off because it's grooving itself into this. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just going to draw it off, just like a puller. It works just like a puller.
You want to see that? That's a great thing for us to see. Okay, so then that comes off, and then you've got the...
And then all you got to do is drill your hole, and you're home free.
Drill your hole here,
right,
and you're home free.
No, I should go get that lock so you can see.
Yeah, you should get that lock.
Great. What you should do is, because it doesn't actually have to work, but you should just show us, just draw it. So we're going to tap this, we're going to lift this thing off.
Lucky, I'll give you the demo.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
I don't want a ridge. We're going to grind this ridge so that it's flat. This, and we have to be as... Oh, I see. This ridge is for the... Okay, that's fine.
But that's just the inner ridge there.
Right. But you know, if we lay a piece of steel on this, it's going to eliminate the ridge, I think.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be close to flush, right?
Okay, so then we can go over here and we can lock on. So that also means that they need power in the...
Yeah, no, you're going to have power.
Yep.
A plug for this little thing.
So,
because he's in with the door closed, right?
Yeah, so is he going to have to tap into here?
Or maybe we can add a new one in.
There's a box right here.
Either that or,
There's a chest right here too, but he's moved that.
You can actually take a plug with 2 gator clips to go up to that too. Open it up, put the 2 gator clips to the plug, and you can plug in so it look real cool.
Yeah, we can just add a plug on that.
Or let's do it in here. So he moves the packages. Because you have to move the crates anyway to get the carpet out.
Right.
So he moves the crates out of the way, then he rolls the carpet back. When he pulls the top up the thing, we see it. Then he unscrews this, pulls the top, puts the gator clips on it, puts the thing in, and starts his drilling.
Okay. When we added the new box to keep the big survival box from going back, pulling the carpet from this direction now has become a little more difficult.
I understand.
And that's why we pulled it from this side.
I understand. That was only possible.
I can still do
that is only possible if the wall is back. But it's never pictorially.
Right. I can do it with it like that. You have to sit on it, slide it back, and then roll it. I did it last time.
That's what we need to do.
Okay. You know what you may want to do is make it so the drill's going to sit on this side so you're not against this ledge here. Put it from this side, and you may want to go back just a little bit farther and make the plate so you go to the extent. You know, by measuring from here to here, they give you your solid plate. Understand what I'm saying?
So we probably have to cut
Well,
new
it's going to
path.
be a little bit bigger, and also there won't be no ledge in the way, no carpet. Because the guy's got to do, you're talking about time. You ain't going to want to sit there and screw with this.
But now we could also, given that this pivots, you could probably do it straight off here and pivot it over there.
Or you possibly could too, yes.
So let's make it so we don't have to. So we have to do the
I'll give you
minimum
the
amount
combo
of
box too, so you can show them.
Yeah, I showed it to him before.
And big, the one with the hole in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the dials, how the dials fall in.
Okay.
What keeps the dial from spinning?
The dial from spinning? Well, you're never going to hit the
Drilling down
wheels.
into it?
When you drill down, you don't go into the wheels. That's the trick. You only want to drill through the casing, and you can tell because you feel it. You don't feel it with this one. You got to be very careful. You got to watch, and when you see brass shavings, you're too far.
I mean, when that drill bit comes down and touches that thing, that's free to move, right? You can just spin.
The dial. This ain't going to be here. You're drilling right through here. Is where you're going to be drilling.
First you tap this. This comes out. He pushes the drill back.
In fact, you don't even have to unhook it because see what he'll do. He'll just turn this, spin this to the side,
Spin this
change
and
the bit,
go- and then go
he'll
here.
spin it back to the location he wants.
Okay, and we'll spin it back to say we'll
So
go
a little
left.
bit farther and then make the second hole without even moving the bit.
This is over here. Let's
see how this works. The bolts are here. Then there's a rail that runs this way. And all this does is it blocks the rail from sliding back. There'll be a hole in this rail where this lock is in. The tongue of it's in here. When you open the safe, this tongue comes back, which allows this thing to slide back and forth. And that's all it is. All it is a block.
Yeah, so this is to move the bolts in, and then when you spin this back, now
Technically,
this
this
can't spin
handle-
because you got to do this,
Correct.
and then you can spin.
Because what's happening is the rail is hitting this bolt.
Now, in the script, not to go back because I'm sure there was not enough research was done, but he has him drilling, like making this into like Swiss cheese.
Before.
I told you. Remember I told you that they wanted to drill in all four corners and have the safe fall in, and you said no.
Oh, no, I've never done that. It wouldn't fall in anyway because there's a lip all the way around on the inside. And not only that, but there should be, you know what, I didn't even notice if it had it on the inside. Let me see the inside. Yeah, see, the only thing that you're missing is that there would have been a second flange here, like this, and what it does is it locks underneath the other so that you cannot just unbolt it and lift the door up or break the door open.
Okay, so if we had this, when he
No one's going to
drills,
notice that, though. That's just,
so when he drills this, and we
Gonna
see
get a
them
hernia.
open it up, we see this open up. This is legitimate enough.
Yep, that's perfect. I think that looks neat.
Great. Well, neat's good.
Hey, we got one thing right.
Exactly. Only your work.
Well, I see, generally they go by the bolts. You know, the more bolts, the more secure the safe is. This would be a higher rated safe than some of the smaller ones. They only put 3, and you pay a lot more to get the 5. Trust me.
Good. That's what we want.
And the reason that being, not that it matters, but what they used to do is before they did all this concoction going through here, like when I opened it up for the police department one time, they were in a real big hurry. So I drilled a hole through the side to the bolt, and then I took a punch and I hit that bolt and I just forced the thing back. And what it did is it crushed the fence right here and just slid the bolt back.
Why'd you have to open this?
They did a drug raid, and it was a donkey. They called the guy a mule or something.
Yeah, a mule.
And so anyway, they called me out there, and I'm sitting there and I'm drilling the thing open. He said, "No, just get it up as fast as you can." And I punched it back. And we opened it up. There's all kinds of money in it. And then all of a sudden he says, "Okay, stay in the closet. The guy's coming home." I said, "What?"
Oh, you're trying to do it before the guy.
But I was there.
Take your drill, man. You have to take your drill.
I'll tell you what. If you don't think those guys intimidate, let me tell you. You know, they scared me. They were intimidating this guy. They deliberately cocked the shotguns after he came into the house. Deliberately. And they're done. They put holes through the wall. They can do anything you want after that because they own the home after they found that. There was enough proof. And he had 2 girlfriends, and I tell you, he was the ugliest son of a bitch you ever saw. And I tell you what, you talk about the babes, I wanted to go bail them out.